Is anyone else on yet?
Yeah, there's other people. I haven't started the webinar, but there's other people. I'll start the webinar.
All right. Thank you.
This is Gwen Jones, and I had the meeting down as starting at 11:15. Is that what everybody else has, or?
That's correct, Gwen.
Okay.
The email I have from Jolanda says 11.
I can only do the webinars on hourly basis through Zoom, but you get another email that says 11:15 from Betsy Willette and Donna. Zoom does not let me do it at 11:15. Sorry. It just doesn't allow me to do that.
Okay, but so we're not supposed to be on till 11:15 instead of 11.
Well, I'm wondering, this was noticed for 11:15. Is that correct, Yolanda?
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so if it's noticed for 11:15 to the public, we probably should start at 11:15. I feel like we've got a lot of people here, but I don't know that we have everybody, so.
Yeah, Donna's not on yet. There's a few still missing.
Okay. Well, everybody just make your screen glow black and go do a few things and come back in a few minutes. All right, well, it is 11:15. This is Gwen Jones. I was asked to run the meeting because Margie could not come today. And I think I'll call the meeting to order, go through some of the preliminary items in case anyone else is joining, so it gives them a little time to get on the meeting. This is a virtual meeting, so if people want to join or give public comment, you can go to our city council website for meetings, and there is for this meeting there will be a link to join. You can also call in, and I believe that information is on the website. Could we do roll call, Yolanda? We'll see if we've got a quorum here. I think we do, but why don't we go through? I'm not sure who's on the phone number, so that way we'll capture whoever is and get everyone.
Thank you. Sonia Verlani.
Yes, I'm here.
Margie Costa is absent. Ellen Buchanan.
I'm here.
Robert Giblin. Absent. Gwen Jones.
Present.
Bill Jacko.
Here, but this is my first Zoom and I can't bring up anything. I've got video, but shouldn't I see a little picture of myself in here?
Turn your camera on. We're not seeing you.
Camera's on.
Huh.
So what's going on your end? Sorry.
Let me look at the here. Cameras.
We were able to see you earlier, Bill. So, and then I know you went dark when we decided to wait until 11:15.
Right.
Undo whatever you did.
Yeah. All I did is go back over to my Gmail and read some of that, and then I came back, but I didn't switch anything. And what I have in my box here is right. Let's see if this. I've got a camera with an arrow with a slash across it, and I hit on it, and it won't open up. So I don't know what to tell you.
Bill,
As I said, this is a new one for me. But
Bill, at least this is Donna. We can hear you, and I think you said you can see the screen. So the only thing we can't see is your picture. So you're okay.
Okay, I don't mind.
Okay.
So I can watch and comment, but you won't be able to see me, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're fine. And let's let the record reflect that Robert Giblin has joined. Robert, are you with us?
Yes, good morning.
Lovely. Great. So we have a quorum. This is good. We had minutes from 2019, 2 years ago, to approve. I did take a look at those. Did anyone have any comments or changes to those minutes? Seeing none, those will stand approved. Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? I'm not seeing anyone in the attendee box, so I don't think we have it. Okay, so we're just gonna head through our agenda. The first item under reports and update was a 2020 annual summary, Caras Park and events, and that's from the Missoula Downtown Association. So Robert or
Yeah, do you want me to?
Whoever's going to present.
So I'm Kalina Wickham, the program director at the Missoula Downtown Association. So I whipped something up today. Obviously, there wasn't a lot to report for last year since a lot of events were canceled, but I can send this document out to everyone after this meeting. But a quick summary is we had 22 canceled events in 2020. And I've listed them out here. So again, I'll send this out. We had 2 private events. One was a wedding at Brennan's Wave. And then another was just a private event. We had 2 political events that spanned a couple different days. One for t-shirt printing for Steve Bullock for Senate, and another for Kathleen Williams for Montana. And then we had 35 MDA events in the park. We had the Winter Brew Fest on February 29th, which we were able to slide in right before the pandemic hit. And then we had 3 downtown pop-ups per week throughout the summer, much smaller scale than our usual Out to Lunch Downtown Tonight. I believe there were 33 of those, approximately. And then we had the Sidewalk Chalk Art Project for our Support Our Roots Week, and that was on August 29th. So, yeah, overall, we had 22 canceled events and 39 events down in the park.
Great. I'm surprised you were able to do that many. That's amazing. Were there any questions or comments from anyone else regarding the 2020 annual summary?
I think
All right.
the moral
go
to
ahead,
the
Ellen.
story is if you want to get elected, don't do your event in Caras Park.
That's true. All right, I don't know. My screen is, I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't know if you guys are seeing. Oh, well.
Something's
Okay.
going on. Yes, I agree with you. I don't know what's going on. Oh, let me just stop. Bill is sharing. There you go.
Okie dokie. All right, we're back. Excellent. Any other comments on 2020 summary of events other than, yeah, don't do your political fundraiser or t-shirt maker down there. It's a bad juju. Okay. 2021 calendar of events, goals, projects for Caras Park events area, Missoula Downtown Association. Looking forward, what do we got coming up?
Yep, so looking forward, we have less events than normal, but we still kind of have a somewhat normal looking schedule, especially as we get later into the summer. So right now we have about 61 events scheduled for the park. We have our normal Out to Lunch in Downtown Tonight starting in June. They're going to be much smaller scale, but a little bit bigger than the downtown pop-ups. So those might not be the same, attendance that usually are, but it'll probably be half of the amount, maybe. And then we also have not much in June. July, we have Northwest Margarita Fest, a possible barbecue fest, some weddings, and again, just Out to Lunch in Downtown Tonight. And then in August, we have a lot of events, actually. We have the Symphony in the Park coming back. We have a high school reunion, a banquet, a wedding, Bacon and Brew Fest, a pet fest. The Summer Maid Fair has moved to August. And then we have our River City Roots Festival. And then, which will be the kids portion of it down in Caras Park. And then in September, we have German Fest, which is normal, Maverick Brew Fest. But then we'll also have a distillery festival. The Montana Distillers Fest will be down in Caras Park. And possibly a portion of Maggot Fest will be in Caras Park.
Great. And can I ask, are there any size restrictions at this point in time with the health department, or is it we're meeting the metrics of vaccinations, so are there any wraparounds there, or is it just wide open at this point?
I think the health department, I'll have to check on this, but I'm pretty sure the health department is still requiring an application, or at least conversations with the health department for events over 1,000.
Okay.
But I think that's the only restriction right now. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and so we're just following along with health department regulations.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I thought that was a recommended discussion at this point, which seemed unusual to me, but that's fine.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe something changed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all, to a degree, it's all fluid. If
Right.
something happens and some variant embeds itself here and numbers are high, then we'll have to adapt. But I think we're on an upward trajectory and we are doing well with the vaccinations, but we need to keep going. But it's just great to be looking forward to some events this summer. This is very, very good. Okay, well, any other thoughts or questions from anyone else? Looks like you don't have as much as 2019 or the years prior, but it certainly is more towards getting back to normal than not, which is great.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Sonia. I have a question concerning you said there was possibly something to do with the Maggot Fest. Exactly what would that be?
So that was, they reached out. I think they're trying to do smaller pods at different places. So it's not the full Maggot Fest, but I think it would be like a game or something. They had just recently reached out, so nothing's confirmed yet. But I do know that they're trying to spread out so that they can have pods of people instead of a full Maggot Fest at one place.
But no actual playing or anything there.
Again, I'm not quite sure. We haven't gotten that far, but they did reach out to possibly get a rental.
They should play at the River Bowl across the river, Hellgates Field. That would make sense, but they'll just have to figure it out.
Sonia, this is Shirley Kinsey. So the Maggots have the fields rented at the fort at Fort Missoula for their actual league game or tournament games, along with the Bella Vista Pavilion. But they do a party in the evening on Saturday evening, and it sounds to me like they're trying to spread that out. Normally they do that at the fairgrounds, but it sounds to me like they've got some different options looking at this year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, okay, and that makes a lot of sense, Shirley. My only concern is I don't know if any of you have ever attended those. I don't know if I want that going on down at Caras Park.
I don't know that I want them driving to Caras Park. You know, Kalina, it might be worth your time to visit with Shirley to put some sideboards and parameters on the rental. We do a number of things with the Maggots each year to try and get to preferred behavior, or at least legal behavior mostly.
Perfect. Will do.
Great. Any other questions or comments?
Colleen, I wanted to let you know that for sure that we're going to be combining Kids Fest with Fall Family Fest out at the fort this year. So we'll go ahead and relinquish our date for the Caras Park this year for Kids Fest.
Okay, I think you already did.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. We can see you, Bill. Looking good. Perfect, as are. Okay, so anything else on any of the reports or updates? Sounds like there's some things scheduled, which is awesome. We do not have any action items. But we do have several items under discussion and future items. So why don't we just go through that list? And I know we've talked about this in the past and it's an ongoing issue. Existing restrooms and MDA concerns regarding the restrooms. MDA, do you guys want to start off on the restroom situation? And I know we've talked about it in the past. They need work desperately, but any changes in that situation? Anything else?
I can maybe start with that and then I'll refer to Robert. With the adoption of the downtown master plan, followed by the downtown North Riverside Parks and Trails plan, and then the pandemic, our focus has really been about working with Public Works and their efforts at the infiltration gallery and installation under the mound, returning the mound to a grassy multi-use area with a seat wall. And then at the same time, our goal is to improve the amphitheater so that once we get through the Higgins Avenue construction season, we're able to continue to host events there, better meet CPTED, crime prevention through environmental design, increase year-round functionality, usability. And then we do have a plan for replacement restrooms. There's a footprint in the design, but we have not yet designed new facilities. I think in our minds, we're thinking about architecture that meets the rest of Caras Park architecture, but restroom facility services that look a little bit like Bella Vista at Fort Missoula Regional Park, where we can handle day-to-day, and we can also handle events by opening up additional sections of restroom. Robert, do you want to add to that? Because you have been super active with private side fundraising.
Well, as far as from a fundraising perspective, I wasn't going to add anything to what you just explained. No, I think you covered it pretty comprehensively as far as what we're looking to do. I don't have anything to add from a fundraising side at the moment.
Okay. All righty. Any other comments on restrooms? Okie dokie. All right, thank you. We'll just have to keep that on the list. Downtown master plan update, which I've been sitting in on those meetings too. So much going on, and I know that Linda presented to council a week or two ago, and it's pretty amazing all that has been done in the last 12 months during the pandemic. I just hadn't realized. So I don't know if everyone was able to see that presentation or not. It was quite comprehensive, but in terms of Caras Park specifically, Robert, did you guys want to talk about, or Donna or Ellen, what's the impacts on
Ellen
Caras
would
Park?
give a master plan update there, if Ellen would like to do that.
Sure. I've got to say, I did not see the presentation to council while I was out of town. And but I do know what's going on since I chair that committee. And quite frankly, there is so much going on with respect to items that were identified in the downtown master plan that are happening almost independent of the implementation committee, because different city departments and different entities have grabbed the bull by the horns, if you will, and decided to move forward with various aspects of implementation of certain recommendations. We've got the Higgins Avenue Bridge planning study from Broadway to Brooks is either under contract or about to be under contract with the design team. We've got Front and Main Conversion Engineering under contract for full engineering of that project. We've got the Riverfront Parks and Trails plan that was developed as an addendum to the downtown master plan, and there are parts of that are already kind of underway in terms of either implementation or being programmed into the city's CIP programs. Some of it not in the core of downtown, but some of it will be. I mean, there is a lot going on downtown right now that is just kind of taking on a life of its own, and it's pretty exciting. And so right now, I think the master plan implementation committee, to a great extent, is in a position of being an advocate for some of the tough decisions that may come down the road, as opposed to being an initiator of new things to do. We've got our hands full at the moment. The one thing I would mention that some people on this committee may not be aware of is that with respect to the Higgins Avenue and the Front and Main projects, we, MRA and primarily Mountain Line, have a major project going on in Midtown with the Brooks Corridor, and a what would be a totally transformative project there around transit and transit-oriented development, that may well come all the way up Brooks to Higgins and then tie in completely with the Higgins Avenue consideration that's going on, which then ties into the Front and Main conversion, and also ties into an effort that's just now getting kicked off by the Midtown Association to move forward with a Midtown master plan, much like the downtown master plan. So pretty exciting stuff going on in the relationship between Midtown and downtown, and that impact each other, and then just with downtown projects that are happening, because of a number of things kind of coming together at the right time. And if anybody has anything to add to that, jump in there.
Great. Just kind of an interesting fact. I read an article last week. Billings is also using TIF dollars to make 2 of their downtown one-way streets into 2-way streets. Exactly the same thing we're doing. Same funding mechanism.
They're just, they're just copying us as usual.
We want to be leading the way, but anyway, I thought that was interesting. It's not uncommon. Great. Well, thanks for that update, Ellen. Anybody else have anything to add on that or questions? Okay, there is a ton going on downtown, and we're getting to the Higgins Street Bridge. That's coming up in a minute here. That I was going to talk about that. But next item was 2021 events season, which I'm not quite sure how that's different from the prior report we had on 2021 events coming up, but on that topic.
I don't think it is, Gwen. I think that might be a leftover remnant from original tentative items that got moved around. So
okay, I think we've covered that, unless anyone else wants to add to anything else for events this summer. I think we're just gonna, fingers crossed, they happen, and it's a lot of fun. The last thing on our discussion list is Higgins Bridge construction impacts. And I can just say this at the beginning, my understanding, although I need to put an email into Katie Kleitz, is I believe within about a month or so, the west side will be done and that big wide sidewalk will be open. And I'm assuming the staircase down to Caras Park will be open. So that's right about at the beginning of the summer. That was what was scheduled. I don't know if that's been delayed, but who wants to speak further to Higgins Bridge construction impacts, and who has more information regarding that, if anyone?
I think that's our knowledge, that's accurate. Go ahead, Ellen.
I think it's fortuitous that the west side construction was able to take place during an unfortunate event called the pandemic, which basically shut the Wilma down, which kept that conflict from growing into a major challenge for downtown. So by the time, Nick's able to do things at the Wilma, his situation there should be much better than it would have been for the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's, boy, when that west side gets opened up, I don't know if you've been driving across the bridge and seen it, it's going to be really nice. That wide boulevard basically for pedestrians and bicyclists, and then that whole side will be opened up so Nick can potentially have trucks parked out there and do shows for this summer starting. So there's some silver linings, but and it's, I want to say they started construction last fall, and I'm sure it takes as long on the east side. It's going to be a while.
East side should be a little quicker because they're not extending the width of the bridge, and I'm sure that took up a chunk of time. So, but having the west side open up is so exciting to me.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
like major impactful project for downtown.
and I know that we are a biking town, and when it all got narrowed down, the bikes were put into the drive lanes. It's just not great. So I'm really looking forward to having that opened up. Yeah, fingers crossed nothing happens between now and then.
So for
Okay,
those
well,
of you who know him, Jim Nugent quit riding his bike to work, which is like the end of the world because of the danger of getting across the bridge. His wife wouldn't let him ride.
yeah, well, that was kind of some people took the tack of I ride in the middle of the road with cars right behind me, and my tack was it doesn't feel good. I'm not doing it. So anyway, the whole issue will go away in a few weeks, and we're going to have great transportation in there, lots of breathing room. And then when the second side opens up, it'll be all the better. So we are getting there. Okay, well, that is the end of our agenda. Anyone else, any other comments? We have no public attending. Any other thoughts anyone wants to share on extraordinary events this summer? I guess I am curious, after a full year of no events, and now when we go back to events, I wonder if there's been a bit of a paradigm shift and people are looking forward to hearing the music float across the river. We'll see. I don't know.
I just wanted to thank Robert and Kalina and Ellen for joining us today. This meeting was set up years ago as an opportunity for the public to just participate in some way in the Caras Park management agreement. And should there be future extraordinary events, this is where those are approved or parameters placed on them. And I appreciate your time because I understand that we're just sharing information most of us already know, but I think it's important for the public record. So thanks.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Thank you to everyone participating today. And if there's no other comments, we will stand adjourned. Okay, everyone?
Thanks, Gwen, for covering for us.
Absolutely. No problem. Thanks for attending. Great to see everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you guys next year.
All right. Bye-bye.